Are you struggling to see results? Well, it might be because of these foods. Let's get to it. Hi, my name is Anastasia and I'm a nurse and certified health coach, and I empower young women to take back their health and use food as medicine to achieve their health goals. So in today's video, we'll be discussing some foods that may be stalling your weight loss or also showing to not be effective in controlling your blood sugar levels. So the first food I'd like to discuss are grains. And grains are found in foods such as like bread, cereal, pasta. Now the reason why grains are not beneficial for you is because grains contain gluten. The reason why gluten is detrimental for your health is because it is an anti-nutrient. So it causes inflammation to your body. And especially with the grains we have nowadays, because grains nowadays are from a genetically modified wheat called dwarf wheat. And this dwarf wheat has been designed to produce a higher yield and also grow faster. And it also happens to contain up to 40 times more gluten than, let's say, grains from a few decades ago. So that means the bread you're eating now is 40 times more inflammatory than bread people have eaten a few decades ago. And also grains, they're high in carbs, and carbs turn to sugars, and sugars spike your insulin, which leads to insulin resistance, which can also lead to diabetes. Similar to grains, we have our starches. The starches are also high in sugars and in carbs. They're easy to overeat, and to be honest, according to the glycemic index scale, you're better off just foregoing starches altogether because there's not really that much of a difference. We have our legumes, and legumes are foods such as beans and peas. And the reason why beans and peas are detrimental to your health and to your weight loss goals is because they contained lectins, which is an anti-nutrient. And that's actually why you need to soak beans and peas prior to cooking to leach out as many lectins as you can. But of course, some of those lectins always remain in the legumes when you cook them, and that leads to being gassy and being bloated. And if you feel gassy and bloated, it can make you feel and look and appear larger than you really are, when in actuality it's just all the inflammation that's in your body from the anti-nutrients. So the next one I'll say is pretty obvious for being detrimental to your health, and that is sugar. Sugar, it is shown to have addictive properties, and it is added to a lot of foods nowadays, especially because they want to make that food more addictive and it's easier for you to overeat. If you overeat foods, that's going to hinder your weight loss goals. Foods that have high amounts of sugar in them just aren't serving you in terms of trying to achieve your weight loss goal. Also, eating high amounts of sugar leads to high sugar levels, which spikes your insulin, and over time that can cause insulin resistance or even diabetes. Now, dairy has some pros and cons, I would say, especially for people like myself who are actually sensitive to dairy. The reason why some people are sensitive to dairy is because of the lactose, which is a sugar found in dairy, and also the casein, which is a protein. And both of these people who are sensitive to dairy have trouble digesting the lactose and the casein. But even if you don't experience any digestive issues when consuming dairy, you still might notice a weight loss stall when you're trying to track your progress because of the dairy. Because, for example, like cheese, there's a high amount of casein in that, and if you ever felt like you're addicted to cheese, you actually might be addicted to cheese. So if you are noticing a weight loss stall in your progress, try just cutting back on the dairy and just maybe go dairy free for like a month or so, and then try to notice if there is any difference between your health from then to now. And if you don't notice much of a difference, then continue enjoying your cheese. But unfortunately for those who are sensitive to dairy, but if you're sensitive to dairy and you continue eating dairy, it just increases inflammation in your body, which does not serve your health in the long run. So seed oils contain polyunsaturated fatty acids, also known as PUFAs, and these PUFAs create oxidative stress in your body. Because when you eat seed oils, your body actually doesn't recognize the seed oil molecules as food. It recognizes it as a foreign body. So whenever you consume seed oils, your body goes crazy and tries to defend itself against those molecules. And it does that by creating like bandages within your arteries made from cholesterol, which creates that cholesterol plaque in your arteries, which can lead to atherosclerosis. And atherosclerosis can lead to diseases such as heart disease and stroke and heart attacks. Next, we'd like to discuss are processed foods, because is it really food if you need to specify that's processed? Food for life. It really doesn't make sense if you're trying to control what you're eating or how much you're eating of something if you're eating foods that are literally designed to make you overeat them. There's a reason why you can eat a whole bag of potato chips and still feel hungry afterwards. That's because processed foods are so highly processed, they have practically no nutrients in them. There's just chemicals and dyes and sugars, and it just really doesn't serve your body when you try to, even if you try to moderate eating processed foods, because you're much better off just eating whole unprocessed foods that actually improve your health in the long run instead of hurting your health. Lastly, I would like to mention fruit. Now, I would say that fruit, especially like for example eating a mango, I would say has more nutrients than, let's say, a Snickers bar. However, if you are trying to especially control your blood sugar levels, again, how I mentioned earlier with the GMO grains nowadays contain more gluten, well, GMO fruit nowadays contains more sugar and carbs. So if you do want to keep eating fruit, I would say stick to more fruits like berries, so like raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, because berries actually contain on average less sugars than other fruits such as like watermelon or mangoes, especially the exotic fruits. So if you want to control your blood sugar levels better, eat more berries. If you found today's information helpful and you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!